If you act positively, your answer will be always positive. And if you act negatively, your answer will be always negative. This is law of nature which we can't change. It is not possible for us to change this law of nature. In this context, I would like to prove one thing. If you utilize your energy, your power, your sagacity, your wisdom, your enlightenment, your cognitive skill, and your craftsmanship, and your experience of life positively, you can change failure into success. So, my topic today is our dilapidating planet or Mother Earth. This is the law of nature that if we try to reciprocate properly, positively, our answer will be positive. But this phenomena is quite different when we are trying to dealing with Mother Nature. I would like to say one thing. Its views, the its view this earth from the moon, we find our earth is so beautiful, so charming, so attractive, so bewitching, so hypnotizing that we always try to praise the beauty of the earth, mother planet. While sitting on the moon, when we gaze, when you see the earth, it looks, the earth is bathed with milk. So beautiful if we try to compare our earth, our planet, with that of the moon or 14th moon, we find that this earth is 100 times beautiful as compared to our planet. But the situation is quite different. It's quite topsy-turvy. It's quite uneven. It is because of the scattered starvation, a lot of problems which we are facing. You know, for the first time when the Russian planet, when the Russian astronaut first went to the moon and also the American as well, they are unanimously agree that the earth is very beautiful, which the 14th moon can't be. The astronaut, when he comes out from his rover and try to analyze our earth is bathed with black heaven with milk. So we are very much charmed. We are very much interested about this our earth. So beautiful, so beloved, so attractive, so charming, so hypnotizing that the moon can't be. But the thing is that we reach to the conclusion that we are trying to disturb the peace, tranquility, and comfort of this moon. The first message which we try to achieve, which we try to get, that it must be our first and foremost duty that we should try to tackle our earth, which we see that's very beautiful, charming, attractive, and whatnot. But over here, there are a lot of disease, hunger, poverty, and war. It must be our first and foremost duty that we should try to sort out these problems. But we have set aside. It is because of the fact that man from the very beginning materialistic and try to avoid, that of an ethical way of life. Bertrand Russell, the greatest the greatest philosopher of Europe, England, say what is civilization? According to him, civilization means two things. What are the two things? Development of physical aspect of life and development of ethical way of life. The word civilization means, according to Bertrand Russell, is two things. Development of physical aspect of life and development of ethical way of life. So he is of the opinion that we are complete fiasco, complete failure, so far as ethical point of view is concerned. Ethically, we are backward. We are not well. It must be both physical and ethical should be equal, but we are not. And that's why Russell says that we are decaying, we are dilapidating our situation. It must be our first and foremost duty that we should try to create a similarity between ethical way of life and physical way of life. And Russell is of the opinion it is sorry that we always try to dwell our physical aspect of life and try to ignore, set aside the ethical way of life. And that's why we are groping in the quagmire of suffocation. The word is groping into the quagmire of suffocation. The modern scientists, the modern technologists, the modern human being, they have achieved they are highly educated. We have constructed the world rank university, namely Harvard, MIT, Stanford, McGill, Oxford, Cambridge, and rest of the most advanced countries of advanced university of the Australia. But what the thing is going on, even then we are backward. We are given education, training, how to spoil the Mother Earth. It's a law of nature that if you reciprocate properly, if you behave something, it's a law of nature. If you positively behave then other will also be trying to give you the positivity. But so far as this Mother Earth is concerned, we are not and we cannot. It's sorry to say. Let me give you the example. Let us first of all analyze the sun. What is the role of sun? The role of sun is that it provides light to all over the world, heat to all over the world. If we exist today, it is because of the sun. We ripe our crops, vegetable, our agriculture. Sun plays a significant role to ripen our crops all over the world. So the very function of sun is to give light, but he doesn't try to absorb itself. The very function of Mother Nature is to give you light. Then comes the tree. What is the role of tree? Tree doesn't try to utilize fruit for itself. Tree gives fruit to human being. And in response, what human being trying to have? Is it quite nasty and aggravated? Then comes the object of nature, the third one. The river, the river. River gives you water, gives human being, human being, gives you water to the thirsty human being. And we solve over 100,000 problems with the help of water. So river gives you water, but don't try to take itself. It's not selfish. Sun is not selfish. Trees are not selfish. But we are given the training how to be selfish, how to be, the object of nature are positive and try to play the positive role, but we are trying to give you the negative role. Then comes the fragrance, flower, the beautiful flower, which gives you fragrance. We try to move worry remover, try to prove worry remover. It try to spread fragrance, not for itself, but for human being. But human being is trying to dilapidate the planet, the earth. In spite of the fact that we are highly educated, we are getting education, we are getting training in the different university of the world, say Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, MIT, McGill, Canada. So I try and again use these universities because these universities are the world rank university. What are their function? Their function is to dilapidate, to destroy the planet. How they are trying to destroy the planet? These scientists, these highly educated scientists, these highly educated person, they try to go deeper into the earth and try to extract the thousand and million years process. Is that clear? They are trying to extract thousand years process, thousand and million years process. We are trying to extract like a lavish child, like a spendthrift child. This device of science is only 50 years old. And with this device, we are trying to extract with a modern machine, which is only 50 years old, try to extract all things, all object of nature, trying to destroy all object of nature. We are trying to extract as fast as we can, but a day is not far off when it will deplete. Because I am of the opinion, the process of material, when used, it is no more. I would like to give you an example. Many miles of forest are turned into newspaper, but there is no known process by which you can transform newspaper into forest. You will say that it will need not worry because we have electricity. But electricity requires power, material, and material depends upon, that of the thing which is not possible to continue. For instance, I would like to give the example. If you shuffle a pack of cards, you can do it. If you reshuffle it, then you can do it, pack of card. But if you drop a, but if you drop an ink into a water, it will dissolve, it will never come back. So our all progress, our all material based on this science, based on this idea. You know, scrambled eggs cannot be recreated. Scrambled egg cannot be recreated. Burned energy cannot be restored. One thing is obvious. It must be our first and foremost duty that we should try to reciprocate the mother nature. And on top of that, again, I'm of the opinion these universities are useless, entirely useless, because they are not trying to reciprocate the nature. They are given a training how to destroy and dilapidate the mother nature. So it must be our first and foremost duty that we are materialists. Bertrand Russell from the very beginning pinpointed one thing, that what is civilization? Civilization means two things: material development and ethical development. So Russell is of the opinion our civilization is a complete fiasco, complete failure. Why it is complete failure? Because we try to develop only physical aspect of life and we are trying to ignore the ethical way of life. And the time will come, we become so material, so that cruel, that a day is not far off when it will deplete. Now, in the end, I would like to say one thing. What is the purpose of going to the moon? As we claim that we are getting a lot of achievement, we are becoming a lot of progressive, and we are going towards the moon. But what is the philosophy behind it? If you try to analyze, that of the human being, the very function of going to the moon is material, not that for ethical. So one thing is obvious: the Mother Earth is trying to dilapidate. And on top of that, when we go to the moon, we are trying to disturb the peace, the comfort, the tranquility, and what not of, that of it, the moon. So we are not supposed to destroy the peace and comfortability of that of the moon. I would like to give the example. For instance, the human being, we say man is social animal, man cannot live without his human fellow being. Directly, indirectly, we are dependent upon one another. And we can't, it's our nature. Because man cannot live secluded life, isolated life. Man directly or indirectly depend upon, that of it, living with one another. Man, because that's why we call man social animal. So we are given from the first lesson that we shouldn't try to disturb the peace and tranquility of others. For instance, I am living somewhere, okay, I have my neighbor. It is not my duty to disturb their peace and tranquility, but we are trying to disturb the peace and tranquility and comfort of the moon. It is because of the fact we can't give the answer why we are trying to disturb the moon. A peaceful and comfortable moon, we are trying to destroy the peace and the comfort of that of this thing. It is because of the fact that we are selfish, we are avaricious, we are capricious, we don't have love. We are taught how to take revenge and how to extract everything. I would like to give you a simple example. We slaughter animals. It is because of our own use. But we don't try to think that we are trying to destroy. Anyhow, our earth, which is our mother, we can say mother planet, we are trying to disturb the peace and tranquility of this universe. And a day is not far off when it will deplete, when it will come to an end. So it must be our first and foremost duty that we should try to come out from the quagmire of suffocation. A perfidy of whirlpool, it must be our first and foremost duty that we should try to come out and try to think like a human being. When we are very much cordial and sympathetic and tolerant with our one another, with friends, why we are not sympathetic with our mother nature? Why we are not tolerant with the moon? So we should try to stop it. If we want to increase, that way, the peace and comfort of this world and continuity of this world, this earth will never continue when we are trying to ready to destroy our earth. Now it is the need of the day that we should try to, even if you try to analyze, that Surah Al-Qaimah, in which two things are said. Development of physical aspect of life and development of ethical way of life. If any community, any society, any human society want to develop, we should try to create a balance between physical aspect of life and ethical way of life. And then we can survive. Otherwise, our that of existence will be in the negative in future. So let us analyze positively as we behave with one another. We must try to behave properly with Mother Nature, with Mother Nature, that is planet, our Earth, and that of the moon. We shouldn't try to dilapidate and destroy the peace and tranquility of that of these kind of things.